So I get asked almost every day, how do I get started in investing in multifamily? I did it, but I'm in the business every day. I meet people, I interview people on my YouTube channel as a way to vet them. One way is we have a great event coming up on Saturday, October 21st at the Iman Center is the LA Grand Expo. We'll have a number of great speakers, but one of them is a friend of mine, a colleague of mine at eXp Realty, but a specialist in multifamily investment and helping people make their first investment in multifamily, Abbas Mohammed. Abbas, great seeing you again.
Bill, I appreciate you having me on. Always a pleasure seeing you.
Always a pleasure. So you're coming down to LA again on October 21st. What are you going to talk about?
Yeah, so what we're going to focus on is how to invest in multifamily real estate. The market's been changing a lot, specifically this past year, with interest rates and all that's going on right now. So, obviously we're going to talk about how to invest in multifamily, how to choose markets, but I also want to touch on, what's happening to the tenants, right? Because a lot of tenants right now are getting squeezed because of the economy and because of inflation. We want to talk about how to choose markets specifically right now, and this is more important than ever before because of growing rents and people's affordability is becoming a big factor. We're seeing a lot of delinquency out there right now. So, we're going to talk about how to buy multifamily real estate, but I really specifically want to tailor it to this current market because it's very different than what we've seen in the past few years.
I know that there are companies that just got started or expanded dramatically in the last 3 years and are really under pressure because of the changes. I know you've been at it a little longer than that. What are some of the mistakes you've seen either you've made or competitors have made that you've learned from, and now we're changing our procedures going forward to get better returns?
Yeah, so what's interesting is that over the past few years, people could buy almost anything and do, an okay job, sometimes even a bad job. They don't even increase income like they're supposed to. And then they sell a few years later at a higher price because interest rates were going down, and so the next buyer could afford to pay a higher payment for that same property. That's not the market anymore. What's happening right now is because interest rates have gone up, people are they can't offer the same amount. So in order to get a higher price, you have to actually push your income up, right? And that's been always the plan, is to push income up, but some people have failed at that, and the main reason is because they don't factor in people's affordability, right? So if somebody's making, say, $45,000 a year and you're buying an apartment and you're expecting to take rent from, say, $1,000 to, $1,500 or $1,600, even if you failed back in the day, a lot of times you can still sell it and still make money. And, maybe it doesn't cash flow during the holding period. But nowadays, if you do that, you're actually going to lose money because cap rates, which is how real estate is measured in multifamily, cap rates have gone up, meaning that the valuation has gone down. So the only way to increase valuation is to effectively increase the net operating income, which is the profit margin of the property. And you can't do that if people can't afford to pay the higher rent. So choosing the right markets, choosing the right tenant demographics is very, very important in today's market.
So like one of the other challenges is you want to lower expenses, and theoretically bigger companies have scale and have lower expenses. But if your expenses are too low and you don't pay for things you need, you're going to have big expenses and or turnover. How do you find the right mix between wanting to cut expenses, but also making sure you're spending the money on the right things?
Yeah. So in my experience, spending money has not been the issue on general operating things. Like, for example, payroll. You don't want to cut payroll down to the point where you actually get bad people, right? So payroll is an important expense you want to keep at market level, or sometimes even higher, by the way. That pays for itself. Same thing with marketing, same thing with maintenance. The expenses that everybody in the multifamily space is suffering from, and this is happening in multifamily and residential, everywhere, is insurance costs have gone up and tax expenses have gone up. Now, really, there's not much you could do about that. If you're buying in Texas, if you're buying in Florida, or any of these states, really, you're going to hit by higher insurance and higher taxes, and that's just the way it is. So the way to fix that is to just put in the right assumptions going in. So when you're going in, if you're getting quotes and, they're saying, hey, we're likely going to go to $750 per door for that insurance, I would underwrite 800. I would underwrite 850 because it's going to increase probably beyond that the next year. So you want to at least mitigate that risk. Same thing with taxes. If we get multiple assessments and they say, hey, your taxes are going to increase by 20%, I might put down 30-40% just so that we, again, we mitigate those risks, and that will give us less deals to buy. But when we do buy deals, then the numbers a lot of times will only work better than our projections.
Well, look, you're obviously a wealth of knowledge, and I appreciate the chance to speak with you whenever I get that chance. And for everybody on this call, you have the chance come October 21st, Saturday at the Iman Center, our all-day LA Grand Expo. And Abbas is one of, I would say only one of 12 great speakers. He's the best of them all, by the way.
I appreciate
don't
that.
tell the others I said that. And we're going to take this out of the YouTube so I'll get in trouble. But no, we have 12 great speakers. You have a chance to learn similar fields, different fields. You'll see the expertise. And I know Abbas's expertise will come along. It's a free event, LAREIC.com, down in the description as well. If you want more, reach out to me if I can help you. Abbas, thanks so much for your time. Look forward to seeing you on Saturday, October 21st.
Awesome, man. I look forward to it as well. I'll see everybody there.
Thanks.